Installment of the ASOG podcast. I am one of your hosts, Rondy Wooten. Joining me as always,
it's me, Jerel. Hi, everybody.
Mr. JJ Relbrums, indeed. This is the first time that we've ever done this, attempted this, tried this, but we have ourselves hopefully, if anyone ever sees this, a remote podcast with video and audio, and hopefully you can't hear the lawnmower. This is going to be extremely scuffed. But hey, what's the occasion? Why do I have my ASOG shirt on?
Why do I have this bottle with me?
Because we are celebrating the 8-year anniversary of A State of Gaming. Wow. There are 7-year-olds out there younger than that.
Yeah.
Some of them, right? A lot
of is younger than that.
I think most 7-year-olds aren't 8 yet. But yeah, I mean, it's not a 10-year milestone, and we didn't do anything for the 5-year milestone. Why 8 years? Why not?
Wobbuffet.
Exactly. There's
right.
Never been any rhyme or reason to any of the stuff that we do, actually. But thank you so much if you're watching this for sticking around through all of it, regardless. I remember in 2014, Jerel coming to me and just saying, yeah, I've kind of wanted to do something kind of like IGN, not sponsor. News, reviews, let's plays, podcasts, like just kind of make gaming articles or videos or something like that. And at the time, I was doing YouTube stuff with Cool Trainer Mega, like uploading Pokemon battles. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to do something other than that. I felt pigeonholed. And man, we didn't really know what we were doing or how to do it. We didn't have a plan or like a strategy or steps or equipment. And oddly enough, we never really Googled any of it either. We just thought of ideas. Let's buy.
Winged it.
Yeah. Let's buy a camera. What kind? I don't know. If you have a friend who has a camera, buy that one. Let's get a microphone. I think Eric just bought like a Blue Yeti, and we were like, cool, it's a microphone. And never really looked up how to use either the camera or the microphone. Just plugged it in.
The camera was expensive as all hell.
Yeah, and I had used Audacity, the program in the past to record voiceovers for YouTube for like Pokemon battles. So I was like, I know this program Audacity. So ostensibly we could plug the mic into the laptop, open Audacity, talk into the microphone, which we both shared the same microphone. You'd come to my house and we'd sit next to each other on my bed and talk into the same microphone and record it on Audacity and then just post that, MP3 file on SoundCloud. And it's just like that really, the ingenuity mixed also with like the sheer like ignorance and just being hell-bent on not actually ever figuring out the proper way to do anything has just been the calling card of ASOG, and I love it, and it's cool.
We're doing something right if we've been going for 8 years.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I try not to think about the fact that it's 8 years and 200 something videos over 8 years, or it's like, yeah, we have over 250,000 views on YouTube in 8 years, or oh yeah, we have like 1.7 thousand subscribers after 8 years, but try not to, yeah.
The podcast is slow, like ascended in that time.
Yeah.
We did start at the halfway point, so really we're at the 4-year for the podcast.
Yeah, kind of, because we did do the first ASOG podcast before we even got the mic and the camera.
Yeah.
On the back patio and stuff, and those first.
Well, I guess the 4-year anniversary of the stoop.
Yeah.
If anything.
For sure. Yep. And we, in true ASOG fashion, did not prepare at all for this. There's no run of show. I have no idea really what we're going to talk about. Even going into this, man, I got to tell you honestly, I was, anxious. I'm always anxious, but even just saying, hey, do you want to do a podcast tomorrow? All of a sudden, it just consumed the rest of that day for me and this day. Just kind of thinking, okay, well, eventually today, Jerel and I have to do that thing like I said we would. And then I'm like, it's that even, 8 in the morning, I'm still like, that thing is still looming overhead. How are we going to do it? How's it going to go? What are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? I haven't really been playing anything. Like, I'm just kind of spiraling, thinking about this task I've given myself. And, it's my own thing and our thing. And I'm still like, how do I get out of this? Which is terrible. It's just how I am.
It's the life of an introvert.
yeah, I'm just like, why did I give myself this task? And like now it's robbing me of my day because it's looming overhead. And I'm gonna be totally honest. Like, if you didn't text me saying like, "What time do you want to do this?" I would have just let it go, and uh, and it would have been
I knew
fun.
you would too, because I kind of wanted to, but I knew
Yeah,
inside I was like,
yeah,
I feel like I need to do something, but I
yeah,
really didn't want to. But
yeah. Just both
yeah,
of us reluctantly carrying this thing. It's just
it's
like,
like we're just like, let's just go.
yeah, like I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, but I feel like the other guy wants to do it, so I guess I'll do my part and reach out since I have to. And I'm like, he doesn't have to, but he reached out, so now I have to.
And it's funny
And
because I felt like he wanted to do it, so I was
right,
like, let me reach out.
right, right. And that's how this is.
We're just like on the same wavelength.
Yeah, yeah, that's how this has worked. I had mentioned to another co-founder, Ramon Hilliard. I mentioned to Ray yesterday. I was like, yeah, I know that with Jerel, that if I don't follow up with him on this, if I just leave this alone, that we won't do it. That he'll be okay to just skip this whole thing, and because it's anxiety inducing, and that if you never reached out to me, that I would just let it slide because then it's one less thing that I have to worry about. But yeah, you texted,
Sure.
and then I was like, all right, how about right now? And I was like, fuck, why did I say that? Like, I don't want to do it right now. Like,
And I said, oh God, I'm not ready right now. Let me stall for time. Give
yeah.
me a couple of
You
minutes.
said give me 5 minutes, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna take a shower. What happened to are you ready right now? Why would I ask you if you're ready right now and then go take a 20-minute shower? Just like,
And then so he said, take a shower. I was like, perfect. That's just enough time to
right?
find something to
Yeah, yeah,
talk
yeah.
about.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't use that
Uh,
time for that. I used it so that I could put this shirt on without it being all funky and gross. It's like,
it's so amazing. We're
yeah.
on the same wavelength, but I feel like we had to do some sort of soul searching just to get this underway.
Mm-hmm.
But at least we have an understanding of how we feel about this project. We still care about it. It's just, where do you start? Really?
Yeah, yeah. I also, man, I was speaking to Ray earlier, and the the same pigeonholing that I kind of went through with Cool Trainer Mega, youtube.com/Cool Trainer Mega, which probably redirects to Rondy Wooten now, which is, that's me. But it's like I don't always just want to do Pokemon battles, and I don't always feel like playing Pokemon, but my whole YouTube channel, which was partnered at the time and monetized, and I had invested 3 years in or something, and I had not a great deal of subscribers, like 300 and something subscribers at the time, back in
I was one
2000.
of them.
Yeah, back in like 2010. Thank you. I was like, well, I can't just upload. What am I going to do? Change the whole title and start uploading Final Fantasy 14 content or whatever I was playing, or I just felt like you built the brand. It's Cool Trainer Mega. You're named after a Pokemon trainer archetype from Red, Blue, and Yellow. You are uploading 3 years of Pokemon related content. Like, everyone who subscribed to you is expecting this, and this is what your whole channel is built off of. So I felt stuck, and the idea of a more generalized gaming channel appealed to me, especially one where there were three other guys who were going to be working on it with me. So if I didn't feel like writing something or making something, there were three other guys who were involved. Or, not in the sense that I would take a step back and let them do it, but also they would keep me motivated because I didn't want to let people down. Kind of the accountability factor. Hey, Eric Gomez just wrote these 2 or 3 articles, or Jerel did this Let's Play, so like, what do you got? And I can't just be like, nothing. So I was like doing reviews of Strider and Mercenary Kings and stuff that you can find on youtube.com/A State of Gaming. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share. And it was neat, but
It's so funny you mentioned that too with Eric about talking about the stuff he wrote, because I felt like low key he was really the backbone of everything. Because you remember when we first started, we're on like a schedule and everything was on schedule. It was steady flow of content because
mhm.
Eric was kind of like, hey, we got this going. He was like the fire that we sort of needed
Yeah,
somewhat.
yeah, that's for sure. Eric wanted, and I still think that we don't want necessarily the same things, and I don't want to talk too much about Eric just because he's not here today, but
Yeah.
he approached this from the outset more rigidly, or more like building a brand, building a company, like how do we grow, how do we monetize, how do we get more views, how do we expand. He he had a 5-year plan, or he wanted to hit milestones. Like we should have X amount of subscribers by the end of Y month, hey, it's been a month, why haven't we hit these targets? I think he approached it from a more analytical perspective. And you and I both are kind of like, we'll get around to it. We're procrastinators. We have anxiety. We're very busy in our personal lives, and it's just difficult, to find that drive. And sometimes, it's difficult just to get out of bed, and you feel already entirely consumed and overwhelmed with the stuff that you feel like you're forced to do, that you don't have the energy to do anything that you want to do. And I never wanted this to feel like a job, and I never wanted this to feel like something I owed anybody, and I never wanted this to be something that brought me stress or presented a pressure. And I think just when that became apparent, he was like, okay, I want to be serious about this. We need to make this an LLC, and we need to hit these targets. And, there was a lot of how are we going to do this and when. And for me, I was just like, I kind of want to make things when I want to make them. And I think, I don't want to speak for him, but I would believe that when you're on those two different sides, it's kind of like, okay, well, I don't really want to be doing this if obviously we have differing, plans, or we think differently about how this project should go down.
Yeah. I knew this was going to be a process, but I guess in his way, he thought it was going to be a little sooner than I guess I was expecting myself, because honestly, I had a plan for it too, but it wasn't as soon as his. I would say I would have had more like a 10 years opposed to 5 year.
Yeah. Well, we're still here. But honestly, it can't. Obviously, if this was something that we devoted a lot of time and attention to, and more focused time and attention, like, hey, let's plan concrete plans. Like, this week, this is what we're going to work on. We're going to work on getting the podcast on iTunes and Spotify. We're gonna Google that. We're gonna YouTube that. We're gonna get on Reddit. We're gonna look at how to get this done. And by the end of this week, we're gonna have this done. Or hey, on Tuesday, we're gonna get this on here. Let's sit down. Let's figure out how to do it. Because honestly, I'm sure that if we did that, it's a 30-minute process. Here's all the MP3 files that we have. Here's how you get them on Spotify and iTunes. It's not like this Herculean thing where you got to reach out to Apple's legal team and all this stuff. I'm sure that it's super easy. It's just that's who I am as a person. Is if anything isn't automatic for me, I'm like so reluctant to even try to start doing it. Which is why it's a miracle that we're still here. But it's also the reason why there hasn't been a new video on the channel in 2 years. And had you not contacted me, we wouldn't be recording this. Also, had you not contacted me yesterday, I wouldn't have known that it was the 8-year anniversary of the company that I co-founded. So, But to be fair,
we'll just mentally keep the spirit alive.
It
just happens to also coincide that the same day as the anniversary is also my father's birthday.
Well,
which is another reason I can remember it.
Yeah, but the YouTube channel has been around since May 14th or something like that, May 20th, or it's some different date than today.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out the actual anniversary date, because the 30th was, I believe, the day we posted our first video, or we did our first podcast.
Yeah.
And the YouTube channel came obviously before that. I don't know if we were going to do the first YouTube channel or the day we did our first post.
Right. And even then, what about the day that the name came about, or the day that the four of us met each other? It's like, what's the real, how do you celebrate the anniversary? The first upload, the creation of the channel, the forming and the gestation of the idea. I don't know, but it's May. Take the whole.
I would do it the first post, because it's like the anniversary. Would you do it the day you were conceived, or the day you took your first breath?
It's like 8 years in, and we're trying to figure out when what the like, come on, it's like the most ridiculous thing, but yeah, it's funny.
We
Um,
have no structure. We just go around and just do whatever the fuck we want. It
yeah,
just somehow works because when we
completely
post
fair.
it, people love it.
Dude, the spirit of like me making anything or doing anything in life, I mean, it's failing upward for sure. Reluctantly participating in my own life, definitely. I don't know how long this has been recording, but we haven't talked about video games. Like this thing is, it is what it is. But when I
We've literally
recorded,
just been talking about how shitty we are,
oh
and
yeah,
it's just like,
yeah, something we can both bond over for sure.
hmm
But when I was recording Pokemon battles, was I using a Desmume emulator? No. Was I using the GBA thing? No. Was I using an R4? Absolutely not. What I was doing was stacking books and Yu-Gi-Oh tins on top of my keyboard on my laptop, and then putting my DS on top of those and facing it at my webcam. So I was literally just using a webcam to record the DS screen and then hitting play on the Versus recorder. Like, I didn't bother to look up how to do it any other way. And I was like, all right, how do I record this? Okay, well, how do I do my commentary mid battle if I can't get to the buttons and do the battle? And what if the battle's too long or whatever? So, just by virtue of the Versus recorder being a thing where I could have the battle already recorded and then just hit play and speak, and just coming up with how I'd stack it up so that my DS would point to it, it's like, dude, just sit down and come up with a strategy. Like if you just,
we'll learn on the fly.
yeah,
Yes.
it's like you'll do all of that. You'll do anything except Google it. Like what are you doing, man? And 8 years later, yeah, the podcast is not on Spotify or iTunes. We don't stream on Twitch. There hasn't been a video in 2 years, and it's like we have the audacity to be like, let's record something today.
hmm
you know. But I
And
don't want.
usually when I'm streaming, I don't even mention anything
Yeah,
about when I'm streaming again. It just feels like, oh, he's streaming.
yeah. It's oh, these dogs, man. I'm gonna just let it happen. There are dogs. That's what they sound like.
I swear, I honestly feel like I have ADHD.
Yeah, give me one sec. All right, hold up. All right, I don't know. It's not gonna stop. And I'm not
Just
gonna
looking
edit
at my
this.
dog and she's just like sleeping.
Yeah.
Good.
Um, where I was going though is, and I don't know where I was going, but I kind of do. When I'm doing other things, if I'm on other Twitch streams, or if I'm collaborating with people, or if I am, whatever, talking to anybody who kind of does something similar to this, I don't mention, or I don't feel comfortable always mentioning that ASOG exists, because I feel like I'm going to create this pressure or this expectation. So I'm like, oh yeah, you upload videos on YouTube. Oh, me too. What's your channel? Oh, A State of Gaming. But I don't upload all the time, or but we're kind of this and that. I feel like I have to make all these excuses or come up with some reason or explanation of why, we upload a video every 6 months or 2 years. There's no schedule. There's no fixed kind of focal point. It's not a particular game, not a particular kind of content. uh, why I'm not consistent on like Facebook and Twitch, or like Instagram or things like that. Like, it's not a polished product, and it's not consistent, and there's not a lot of focus. So I feel weird directing traffic to our channels because there's nothing for them there. Hey, yeah, like follow me, check us out, and then 2 years go by and I don't do anything. So like, why even promote? Then you start to feel the imposter syndrome of like, are you a content creator? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you stream? Are you in the game space? Like, you can call yourself all these things: executive producer, creative director, founder of a YouTube channel with 1,000 subscribers, and that last one's a fact, and I guess so are the others. But yeah, I just feel like,
So what have you done for me lately, type
yeah,
thing?
and like, are we really those things, or did we just happen to do a few things here and there for 8 years? To say that ASOG has been around for 8 years is true, but we haven't been like creating for 8 years. We don't have 8 years worth of content per se, and I hate to be
Yeah.
so down on myself. It's not really the point. celebrating 8 years. I guess these are maybe things that I just had to get off of my chest, or things that I think about all the time regarding the channel, and where we are. I'm proud of it, man. I'm proud of where we are and what we've accomplished. I remember sitting in a Panera, or even on the night of the Destiny 1 midnight event, sitting at that nearby restaurant, and just thinking about, man, like, when we start this thing, of all the things we can do, and getting our first handful of subscribers, and little things like we got 100 subscribers, and closing in on it, 84 subscribers, 91 subscribers, and hitting 100 and making a video to celebrate 100 subscribers. Or
It felt so nice.
yeah, or finding out that we had fans outside of our home state, and just being like, whoa, like, how did they find us all the way in Indianapolis or Nevada or whatever? And the Philippines, we did like an analytics search or something, like 18%, some crazy percentage of the people who consumed our content were in the Philippines.
Some guy even sent us an email asking for codes for the Philippines.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, so I don't want to play the comparison game. Like, man, there's people out there who've been doing this for a month or two and have 1 million subscribers. Or, why aren't we consistent? We don't really take this seriously. Like, what about leaving behind the shackles of our day jobs and pursuing our passion and stuff like that? But man, like, coming from sitting in that Panera to having over 1,000 subscribers, and 8 years later still having this thing, and like, we did a damn good job. And I'm super proud of that. But part of me does feel like, hey man, you should go for this. Like, there's a lot of excuses, but everything's a choice. Like, we could choose if we sat down and could get over these mental hurdles, or I'll speak for myself, my mental hurdles, and the issues that I just have personally, mentally, emotionally, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, man, I wish I could shake that and just be more disciplined.
Well, I know. I go through that every day where you wanna just jump full throttle in this, but you don't want to risk what you have, because what if it doesn't really
Mm-hmm.
work out? Then you're caught with your pants down, and it's
Yeah,
just, you're always scared, like, what could go wrong, or you just don't want to. I don't know.
yeah, no, for sure, and that's
It's almost like you got comfortable.
and it's something that I've expressed before to friends, and I'll name drop Garrett Tyra. I was talking to Garrett, and he's like, don't you feel like you're kind of like living in fear? And it always kind of circles back to the scarcity mindset versus a growth mindset. And I'm fully aware that I have a scarcity mindset, and that I'm still in fight or flight mode, and that I can never feel like I'm safe when I'm safe. Like, no, I'm not safe. I always have the mentality that I'm one wrong move away from sleeping on a bus stop, being homeless, and that I have to keep going, and that I don't have time to chase things that I love, or pursue passions, because there's a real world out there that I have to work, that I have to show up every day, and take care of my responsibilities. And yeah, there's just a lot of that kind of. I'm just not wired in a way that says, go do what you want to do. My brain is, you got to do what you got to do. And I feel like there are things that I have to do, though, you don't have to do anything. My mom famously would always say, I don't got to do anything but stay black and die. And like, yeah, so there is no, you have to work this job, or you can't move to this state. Really, this, you can't do this, you have to do that, doesn't exist. But like you said, it's kind of like, well, you acknowledge that you could make a choice, but there's the fear that those choices are going to damage what little thing you've managed to scrap together for yourself against all odds. Like, against all odds, and against the personality types that we have, and the anxiety, or the paranoia, or whether it's any kind of hurdles, mental hurdles and personal hurdles, and anything like that. Against all of those odds, we've made it to a place where we've stabilized. Like, hey, I got a job, I got a roof over my head, I don't worry about where my next meal is coming from. So who am I to rock that boat? Like, the audacity to have so much, and to say, forget this, I'm going to go after that. Like, to jeopardize what against all odds you've managed to build for yourself and potentially end up with nothing. And you built this up over time when you were maybe a younger person with more stamina, less jaded. And so that, for me at least, there's the fear that, hey, yeah, teenage me and 20-something-year-old me had the ability to get me here. But if I ever go back to rock bottom, can 34-year-old me make a comeback? And I'm afraid of that. So that's
All for starting over.
yeah. And the later you are in your life, like, the harder it seems, because you get home from work and you just want to, like, disappear.
Some days I just want to come home from work, and this is like a perfect outlet to just spew what I'm feeling. Like, man, this game I'm playing, it just feels so good. It just had a rough day at work. I just play some Grand Theft Auto or Destiny, and then hop in a Crucible and just kill somebody, and like, man, that felt good. And just
Yeah.
I go back to reality in the next day, and I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to come home and just play games and just complain about life on a
Yeah,
podcast or whatever.
this is the complain cast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. It's like, man, is this a downer? But I think stuff like this, I think these moments that are more human and more real, it's like, yeah, you guys are touching on things that I feel, and I hear you, and I want to put that stuff out there. And maybe this isn't the right avenue, a state of gaming. Hey, talk about the games. What about the games?
That's why we call it the stoop. We're just sitting around.
Yeah, that's where the stoop came from, for sure. But I'm going to put this up as the ASOG podcast because that's the platform we have. What little platform we do have, upload the video, it goes to 1,000 people, and they'll click on it and they'll either like it and comment and feel it, or they'll unsubscribe because they're like, what the heck is this? One minute I'm getting fighting game videos and Destiny videos, and now these guys are making me depressed or whatever. And it's like, it is what it is.
We're real.
Yeah.
You see what you get.
Yeah, we're real.
At least we're not getting 100% smiles all the time. It's not fake.
Yeah, at least there's no Raid Shadow Legends ad. You know what I mean? Unless this is guerrilla marketing and I just dropped it for that. No, it's not. It's not. They're not.
Although this could be a Smirnoff ad.
It could be, I suppose. It could be an ad for what is even near me, man. It could be an ad for PlayStation. Yeah. And just so nobody gets mad at me, like, it could also be an ad for the Nintendo Switch. So there, boom, I have both consoles.
Not Xbox.
Who? No, there's a Microsoft bag in my room, honestly. I mean, I'm on a Windows PC. But
there you go.
Yeah. But I mean, like you said, coming home and like me, I get on my PlayStation. I got, my friends who I get on party chat with, and we're playing, so me and Ray and Mel and Gustavo all play Destiny. And then me, Gustavo, and Mel all play Genshin Impact. And so we could all be playing like either of those games together, but most of the time we're playing them apart. Like, I'm on Genshin, Mel's on Genshin, but we're not playing together. We're just kind of chilling and talking. And Jazo will be there, and Jazo's playing like some other completely different game. But, we all just get together at the end of our day, and it's like something that I look forward to, a great deal. And just coming home, and like, I got 3 friends waiting to talk to me and hang out with me, and that's a nice 2 or 3 hours of my night. And yeah, I think about, man, I want more moments like this, but why am I giving 90% of my life to these things that I don't like, and only carving out 10% of it for the things that actually invigorate me and bring me joy, and blah, 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 blah. Capitalism is why. But that's a road that I don't really want to go down. And it's an excuse, because you could work diligently toward creating something different. But I'd rather just go with the flow. I don't like that about me, but yeah, I just go with the flow. Path of least resistance. The only thing I want more than the things that I want is to avoid the effort involved in acquiring those things. It's like, what do you want more? This Corvette, or to avoid the work that goes into getting the Corvette? I'd say, I'd much prefer avoiding all of the work. Convenience is king. Like, there's nothing more important to me than convenience and comfort. And convenience and comfort will be the death of me, man. Because like, there's nothing good there. You know, everything that you want is on the other side of breaking through convenience and comfort. And I am still working on that. At 33 years old, be 34 in October, I am still working on showing up for myself. And that's not the podcast I thought we'd have today. But but it's the real truth.
It's funny you mentioned the PlayStation parties, because I remember I used to be a part of those before I had this job I have now, which, because of my altered time schedule, I would be in bed by the time you guys would be getting home. I remember doing those with another person, Mr. Twizda, who also has alternating schedules. But man, those lobbies are amazing. Just in there, just sitting in orbit and just talking about stuff, and just the Eris impressions, and Lord Shaxby saying the wildest stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you.
Try getting back into Destiny. I have had some fun with it, but
hey, I mean, a new season just started like last Tuesday. So tomorrow is going to be the first reset of the new season, and we're all playing it. And you know, I'm playing it. I'm like, I just hit season pass level 40. So like, I'm on there if you want to get on there. No pressure. God, I'm sweating. But I wanted to ask you a production question, actually. Are you also recording your side? Because I'm worried that even though it says that I'm recording, that I'm somehow not going to have this recording.
I am not recording.
Okay, we'll just hope that this exists. I don't even know what button to hit. Like, I don't want to have all this recorded and then at the very end hit a button that deletes the whole thing and doesn't save it. But
I was going to record, but my OBS and Streamlabs were both updating at the same time. I haven't opened them in like a minute.
Here's hoping that we don't lose this whole thing. But hey, yeah. When it comes to what we're playing, if you do want to talk games, I think I've talked at length about nonsense. Your life's not nonsense; it's nonsense. I did pick up a game called Anno Mutationum, which I really, really liked, and I've been eyeballing it for a while. Just randomly watched the trailer because I was just going through the PlayStation Store, and I think it's developed by Thinking Stars. It's at least developed or published by Thinking Stars and Lightning Games. But it was really good, and I really liked it. It's like pseudo 2D, sometimes 3D. I mean, it looks like, I hate to say Metroidvania. Like, it's not really what it is at all.
I like Metroidvania style.
Yeah, but like that's not accurate to what it is, because you could be moving like on a 2D plane and slashing enemies like that, but then you enter other areas where you do move into the foreground and background and behind things. So you're in a 3D space, but the camera is still kind of front on. Kind of like if you've played, well, similar to like the original Grandia. It's almost an isometric view, but like the camera's in front of you, but you're still like moving like around stuff. I don't know, but it's really good, and you know, it's got a skill tree, and you got, you know, like your one-handed sword, your big claymore, and your dual blades, and you're leveling your stuff up. And
isn't that just opposite Temple Run? You said the camera's in front of you and you're just running.
Yeah, but like the camera, I guess, is positioned where Temple Run would be, but it's not an endless runner. I mean, you're still playing the game as though it were a action platformer. So it plays like an action platformer. It's just that if you were playing a Metroidvania, but the camera just tilted up ever so slightly so that when you walked into the background, it didn't look like you were flat, so you can see where you're going.
That sounds cool, actually.
It's very cool. It's very, very cool, and it's very, very good. So I would recommend that people play Anno Mutationum. Even better, it's like $24.99 or something like that.
Ooh,
it's a great game. It's a great game, great price. Yeah, I'm like one trophy away from the platinum. And I think I found out that I screwed myself out of one of the trophies. And I beat the game, and like there's no like stage select or anything like that. You just reload your last save file, but my last save is from after the part where I didn't get the trophy that I needed to get. So like, I literally just restarted the game and I'm playing through it again. Like it's good enough that I don't mind playing it all over again. And playing through it the first time took me a long time because I'm picking everything up, doing every side quest, leveling up all my stuff to the max. But I could get to this, like, my original playthrough where I had gotten to in 3 days. During the replay, I got to in like an hour. So like you can play through it super fast if that's how you want to play it. So it's not even a huge commitment. Like it can take you a week to finish, or it can take you a day and a half to finish, or a day to finish. And it's good. It's worth it. In addition to that, I did play Kena Bridge of Spirits for maybe a combined total of 2.5, 3 hours. Never finished it. I'll get back to it eventually, but it didn't grab me in the same way. You know, I don't know why. I think I've never really been into the 3D platformers. It is what it is.
Mario's, Zelda,
Luigi, Donkey Kong, Kirby. Yeah, I've never. Lord Zelda. I don't think I've ever. Yeah, I totally missed that. Like I wasn't. I know you love Sly Cooper and stuff. I was never like Spyro, Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter. Like I didn't catch the 3D platformer bug. You know, even after like the PS1 and the N64 came out, my N64 was a machine for Pokemon Stadium and WWF No Mercy and WWF WrestleMania 2000, or like WCW NWO Nitro or Revenge. So anything made by them.
Not Mario Kart? No Mario Kart?
Mario Kart 64, but at my sister's.
Mario Party?
Mario Party 3, maybe. But like Mario Kart and Mario Party, those are like my sister's games, and I'd visit her and we'd play those. But like me at home by myself, just playing, that's another thing, is I played by myself most of the time. But like, yeah, and I wasn't, not even Smash Bros. Really, for me, it was just like, I want to play Pokemon Stadium. And I'm playing on the Game Boy Tower in Dodrio mode on Pokemon Crystal or Yellow or whatever, and you know, building the team up and putting them in Gym Leader Castle, and like that was my jam.
That was how you beat the game in one sitting.
Yeah, like that was my jam, dude. And I spent a lot of time doing that. And then RPGs like your Final Fantasy X or Final Fantasy in general, Star Ocean, and like Tales of Symphonia. Playing stuff like that, and then you know, I played the Genesis way longer than anybody else did, and on PlayStation, you know, I was playing like fighting games. I play a lot of Tekken, play a lot of Street Fighter. So yeah, I just wasn't playing 3D platformy games. To this day, I don't really love analog sticks, which seems crazy to say in 2022. But if a game gives me an option between analog stick and D-pad, I use the D-pad. I just don't like analog controls, but because they're inaccurate. Like to this day with Smash Brothers, for example, if I'm trying to go straight up, I'll invariably go up and to the left or up and to the right, because my up goes like this. It's not like a straight up. It's like, you know, whatever. It's just not. It's not for me. It's not for me. Let me use up on the D-pad to jump up. Why can't I?
I'm starting to understand it now because I've been playing a lot of fighting games lately.
Yeah. You need precision.
Smash, Mortal Kombat, I'm trying to get the Johnny Cage combos down. I don't like Street Fighter at all. Well, the modern Street Fighters.
Hurts my heart. I mean, Alpha 3 is my favorite, but
Street Fighter 2 is mine.
Street Fighter 2 is great too. Yeah, I mean, Street Fighter 4 is too slow for me. 4 and 5 are too slow for me. I like Alpha. I like how crazy it is. I like how broken it is.
I love Injustice.
Injustice is alright too. It's okay. You know, I'm not a NetherRealms guy. Injustice and Mortal Kombat don't really speak to me, but Tekken and Street Fighter. You said what?
Those are the only ones I really could play. Them and Tekken, because Tekken, I'm just pushing buttons, just like Dragon Ball Fighters. I don't know what I'm doing in those either.
Dragon Ball Fighters.
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom. You know, I made videos for that over on YouTube.com/thestateofgaming. There's a playlist, but yeah, I played a ton of that with Danny, and there's Injustice videos, and there's like all kinds of fighting game stuff. But Tekken, I still have. I have all of them. I still have UMVC 3, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Mortal Kombat X is free with PlayStation Plus, and it's part of the PlayStation Collection on PS5. So we all have that. Yeah, and Injustice Gold Edition or whatever, and I have that. So I still have all of these games. But man,
do you have Soul Calibur?
No, I don't have Soul Calibur. because I would have to pay for it, and I'm not paying for Soul Calibur. I loved Soul Calibur 2.
I know you don't have Dead or Alive.
No, I don't. I loved Soul Calibur 2. I never really got into any of the other ones. To me, it felt like you had to play one or the other, Soul Calibur or Tekken, because they were so similar that if you played too much Soul Calibur and then went to Tekken, you just get your ass beat because you're trying to play it like it's Soul Calibur. Because your brain is trying to do subtle things like crouch guard or block or sidestep, and they just work subtly differently between the two games. So you'll catch yourself button blocking in Tekken when that's a Soul Calibur thing, or you'll catch yourself trying to double tap up to start a sidestep in Soul Calibur when that's a Tekken thing, and like, yeah, man, like playing one and then going to the other, it's like you're ruining your practice. It just messes you up. In my opinion, if you're trying to play them seriously. And then DOA, just, for the longest time it was Xbox only, and I never had an Xbox. And then there's Virtua Fighter, which is fine, but like I feel like Virtua Fighter hasn't gotten out of the 90s in a bad way. Street Fighter hasn't gotten out of the 90s in a great way. But like, yeah, like Virtua Fighter is like a 2 or 3 button game, and like when you get stunned, it still shows a big arcade stick. Like it still thinks it's an arcade game. It's really weird, and
it gives you the nostalgic look or feel, I guess.
Yeah,
it's
the characters are like soft, which is like, I don't even know how else to explain it. But when you hit somebody, it feels like it's sliding through them instead of contacting with them. Virtua Fighter players will just yell at me and tell me my opinions are bad. But people who have played Virtua Fighter and other fighting games will be like, yeah, that is a weird thing. Like, contact doesn't feel impactful in Virtua Fighter. But, or I'm talking out of my ass, and, but I have a podcast. I think
we all have controversial fighting opinions.
Yeah. If you want to play Tekken, we can play Tekken tonight, and we can go into training. I don't know if you can do online training mode, but if you can't, just go into training mode on share play, and then just toggle CPU as controller too, and then do it that way.
I'd definitely be down if I didn't have to be at work in
5 hours.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Damn.
But I'd definitely be up because I've been trying to get Chris in a fighting game, like training with me, but he's busy or doesn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just be playing Smash or Mortal Kombat online and getting my ass beat.
Yeah. It's if you like Street Fighter more, I think it's the easiest to teach. But Tekken's pretty easy too. Hey, we talked about video games. But yeah. Oh, what do you think about? Has it come? It hasn't come out already yet, right? It comes out June something. Sonic Heroes Origins.
Which one?
Man,
the one with the classic games in it, right?
Yeah. So wow, the first Sonic game since Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's actually coming out in 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. I was looking at that. I'm interested because I love Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles. All the Sonic games ever made. I love those, and I'm glad to see that the character is making a comeback after like 25 years. So that's cool. That's really cool. We'll get to find out what happened after chasing down Robotnik for the Master Emerald on the Doomsday. Finally a follow-up. So that's great. I know this pains you.
Wait, there was they're doing the direct sequel for that?
No, the joke is that they haven't made any Sonic games after that because I don't acknowledge anything that came out after Sonic 3 and Knuckles because I don't like those games. But
you don't like Mania?
No. Yeah, I own it, dude. And I played the first 2 levels or something, and as soon as I got to a level that wasn't from the first 4 games, I stopped playing. I didn't like it. And it wasn't like, I don't recognize this level, power off. It just didn't feel good. Maybe
I'm assuming I know that level, Studiopolis.
Yeah, never heard of it.
I love that level. Oh my god.
But yeah, I think it opens on like Green Hill or something, and then it goes to Chemical Plant. Yeah. And then I was like, awesome. And then it was some level I have no emotional attachment to, no nostalgia for. And I was like, I don't know, it doesn't speak to me. It doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, give it a chance. You actually will like it. It plays like, what's that level from Sonic CD? Do you count Sonic CD?
No. Literally. Sonic. No. 1, 2, 3, Knuckles. Done. That's it.
Sonic CD is between 1 and 2. It's
Nope.
the game in between that's online.
No good. And no, it's not. They weren't making CD games back then.
That's the one that debuted Amy and Metal Sonic.
Who is Amy? Like, I have...
Do you know Metal Sonic?
Dude, Metal Sonic I know as a boss from Death Egg on Sonic 2.
He debuted in that game.
No idea. Sonic 2's from 1992. When did Sonic CD come out?
1991.
What was
What
CD platform was out in 1991?
Sonic CD. I mean Sega CD. The Sega CD.
The Sega CD was out in 1991?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, Knuckles. I don't care about anything else. Nothing else matters.
The game chronologically in between 1 and 2, you don't acknowledge it.
Nope. I don't acknowledge any Sonic game on a CD-based platform if you want to get extra about it. Like, it doesn't exist.
I wouldn't give you 3D Blast. I don't acknowledge that.
Doesn't exist. You know what? I beat 3D Blast. Doesn't exist.
You have to at least acknowledge Adventure 1, 2, and Generations.
Sure don't. I care more about Sonic Spinball than those.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Sure don't. 1, 2, 3, Knuckles. That's it.
We had an unboxing for Mania.
Was that over at youtube.com/astateofgaming where people can comment, like, subscribe, and share?
Yes.
It's pretty tight. It's pretty tight. I'll watch the video.
You'll have a superb time watching it.
Yeah, probably.
Take a shot with you while you do it.
Yeah, man. Yes. Yes, indeed. 100%.
To 8 years.
To 8 years. Glug.
Take a shot, Bailey. She left the room.
Yeah, I don't think we can... Can we drink on you? That doesn't... I don't know. Whatever. 8 years of doing whatever we want.
Well, for as far as they know, this is water.
That's true. For legal reasons, that is water. You know, and I'd like to thank our sponsor. What is that? Is that True Clear?
This is Acadia. This is Giant brand water.
Okay.
And for our people up north, Stop and Shop.
Yeah.
For some reason, their Giant up there is called Stop and Shop.
Wow.
It blows my mind every time I go up to New York.
Terrible.
Well,
before I say anything else that gets me canceled or makes gamers mad at me, I think that's a good place to stop. I don't know how long we've been going, or if I've even been recording this, to be perfectly honest.
Usually these podcasts just go. We don't even have a time. We just go until it feels like the right time.
Yeah. It feels good. I don't trust this 47-minute thing that's at the bottom here. It feels like it's been an hour and a half, but seems as good a time as any. And it's 9:11 right now. Never forget.
Wait one more minute.
Yeah.
We don't want a Bush like.
You see that clip? He was talking about the Ukraine, I think, and he was talking about Ukraine, and he misspoke and said terrible atrocities in Iraq. And
what kind of a man would send his troops to Iraq? I mean Ukraine.
Bro.
Wow.
Goodness
what
gracious.
What kind of a man?
I love it. We go 48 minutes. And in the last 5 minutes, we get ourselves demonetized, canceled. Like, it's just like, wow. Class acts, both of us. We were so endearing when we were talking about our mental struggles and hurdles, and now we're assholes. And
we grabbed the men with a heartfelt, intro, and then we just completely demolish all goodwill.
It's the duality of man, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, or
Welcome to ASOG.
Yeah, it's the duality of people. Ladies and gentlemen, and other. I gotta stop.
That's right.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this 8-year anniversary episode of the ASOG podcast. I feel the need to say that I love everybody, so I'm just stupid.
We'll do better next time.
And it's word vomit, and it just comes out, and there's whatever. I'm flawed.
Yeah.
I'm flawed, so sue me. If you want to sue us, you go to your browser and you type in www.youtube.com/astateofgaming, and to sue us, you click the subscribe button, and that'll add $100. Yeah, and it'll put $100 in your bank account. So go ahead and do that if you feel so inclined. At any rate, I don't know how to end things, which is why we've dragged this carcass for 8 years. So until next time, thank you. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share. I've been Rondy Wooten.
Jerel Rosebar, remind each and every one of you to make good choices.
Take care, everybody.